Manhattan's US Attorney on Thursday resigned rather than obey an order from a top Justice Department official to drop the corruption case against New York City's Mayor, Eric Adams. Then, when Justice Department officials sought to transfer the case to the Public Integrity Section in Washington, which oversees corruption cases, the two men who led that unit also resigned, according to 5 people with knowledge of the matter. The resignations represent the most high-profile public resistance so far to President Trump's tightening control over the Justice Department. They were a stunning repudiation of the administration's attempt to force the dismissal of the charges against Mr. Adams. The departures of the U.S. Attorney, Danielle Sassoon, and the officials who oversaw the Justice Department's Public Integrity Section, Kevin O. Driscoll and John Keller, came in rapid succession on Thursday. Days earlier, the acting number 2 official at the Justice Department, Emile Bove III, had ordered Manhattan prosecutors to drop the case against Mr. Adams. The agency's justification for dropping the case was explicitly political. Mr. Bove had argued that the investigation would prevent Mr. Adams from fully cooperating with Mr. Trump's immigration crackdown. Mr. Bove made a point of saying that Washington officials had not evaluated the strength of the evidence or the legal theory behind the case. Ms. Sassoon, in a remarkable letter addressed to Attorney General Pam Bondi, said that Mr. Bove's order to dismiss the case was inconsistent with my ability and duty to prosecute federal crimes without fear or favor and to advance good faith arguments before the courts. I have always considered it my obligation to pursue justice impartially, without favor to the wealthy or those who occupy important public office, or harsher treatment for the less powerful, she said. I therefore deem it necessary to the faithful discharge of my duties to raise the concerns expressed in this letter with you and to request an opportunity to meet to discuss them further. Ms. Sassoon, 38, made a startling accusation in her letter. She wrote that the mayor's lawyers had repeatedly urged what she said amounted to a quid pro quo, indicating that Adams would be in a position to assist with the department's enforcement priorities only if the indictment were dismissed. Ms. Sassoon also wrote that her office had proposed a superseding indictment against the mayor that would have added a charge of conspiracy to obstruct justice. The charge, she wrote, would have been based on evidence that Adams destroyed and instructed others to destroy evidence and provide false information to the FBI. It would also have included additional accusations about his participation in a straw donor scheme. On Thursday afternoon, according to a pool report, Mr. Trump told reporters in the Oval Office that he had not asked for the case against Mr. Adams to be dropped. The Southern District has long been viewed as the nation's most prestigious U.S. Attorney's office and has a reputation for guarding its independence and fending off interference from Washington, winning it the nickname the Sovereign District. The Trump administration last month named Ms. Sassoon, a veteran prosecutor, to head the office on an interim basis while Mr. Trump's choice for the job, Jay Clayton, awaited Senate confirmation. She was quickly swept into conversations with Justice Department officials about the criminal case against Mr. Adams. Mr. Adams was indicted last year on 5 counts, including bribery, fraud, and soliciting illegal foreign campaign donations, stemming from an investigation that began in 2021. Mr. Adams had pleaded not guilty and was scheduled for trial in April. The indictment against Mr. Adams was announced in September by Mr. Williams, who led the office during the Biden administration. Mr. Adams, a Democrat, has claimed that he was targeted because of his criticism of the administration over the migrant crisis, an assertion the Southern District has rebutted, noting that the investigation began well before the mayor made those comments. Mr. Adams has praised parts of Mr. Trump's agenda, visited him near his Mar-a-Lago compound, and attended his inauguration a few days later. The two men did not discuss a pardon, but Mr. Trump spoke about a weaponized Justice Department, the New York Times reported. Mr. Trump had criticized Mr. Adams's prosecution, saying the mayor had been treated pretty unfairly, and had floated the possibility of a pardon.